Area of a triangle. We are familiar with this basic formula of the area of a triangle, that is half times base times height. But when we are given with an angle also, and the triangle is going to have uh, any two sides, the adjacent sides, instead of having this height, the perpendicular height of the triangle, then we can use another formula, and that formula is half times a times b sine of c. What does this tell me? Okay, this is the side opposite to angle A, small a, this is small b, and this is the small c side. It states that if you know small a and small b, these two sides are known, and we know this angle C, whose sine is to be calculated. This angle is known. So we can apply this formula to calculate the area of a triangle. So that means if we know any two adjacent sides of a triangle and their included angle is also known, then we can find out the area of the whole triangle using this formula. So with this, we start off with the exercise 15.13. Find the area of each triangle. Now you can see that we are given with the two adjacent sides of a triangle. Also, the included angle is known. So it is now a straightforward method to apply the formula half times one side, the other side, times sine of the angle in between, that is 42 degrees. So we can easily cancel them up. Threes are, so we get 15 now. So we can apply the formula. It can be used by the use of a calculator. So let me take out the calculator so that we can calculate it. Okay, here we go. So 3 times 5 is 15 times sine 42. This is 10.03. So the area of this triangle is 10.04 centimeter squares. Same is the case with the other parts, 4.7 and 6.8, and then sine of this angle 110. So area will be equal to half times 4.7 times 6.8 times sine of 110 degrees. So let's calculate that. 0.5 for half, then 4.7 times 6.8 times sine 110 degrees. The answer is 15.016. Rest of all the parts are alike. Let me do, for example, part F. Half times 7 times 8 times sine of 120 degrees. So this will be mm, 0.5 times 7 times 8 times sine of 120 degrees, which is 14 radical 3 or 24.2925 centimeter squares. So this is straightforward to calculate area of the triangle when the two adjacent sides and their included angle is given. Okay, then this is question number 2. Find the area of the parallelogram shown in the diagram. Now, if this is the parallelogram shown in the diagram, we can consider it as a combination of two triangles such a way that this angle is 95. So angle is bisected. Forty-seven point five. 47.5. Like we have divided the angle into two equal parts, and for the sides, you know that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. If this is the side 12, so this has to be 12 centimeters as well, and same goes for the other pair of the parallel sides. So now I'm going to apply the area of the triangle formula. Area of the parallelogram will be equal to area of triangle times 2. 2 times what? Half times the adjacent sides. 9 times 12 times sine of the angle in between. Here we need to consider one thing, that the angles that we need to consider have to be the included angles. So we need to do it with a bit of calculation. We know that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So this angle that is going to be 180 minus 95, which is 85. Now, when we divide it uh, into two equal parts by drawing this diagonal that bisects this angle, so we need to have 85 divided by 2. That means this angle will be 42.5 degrees. Also, this angle will be of 42.5 degrees. Now, I've got these two sides 9 and 12. Now, I need to have this angle, that is 180 minus sum of 47.5 and 42.5, because we know that the angle sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. So this will become 180 minus 90, that is 90. So this angle is of 90 degrees. Same goes with this one. This angle is also of 90 degrees. So That means now I need to apply 2 times 0.5 times 9 times 12, and then sine of 90 degrees. Sine of 90 degrees, though we know, is 1, but let me write it down. Sine of 90 degrees. So as a whole, the answer is 108 degrees. So sine of 90 here, that will give me 108 centimeter squares. So this is how this question had to be done. Okay. It's question number 3 now. The diagram shows the dimensions of a small herb garden. Find the area of the garden. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Okay. The dimensions that we are given with are for this triangle. The triangle at the bottom. So 1.1 and 1.2. Now we need to find out this angle. That is the angle which is within these two sides, or the included angle. So the complete angle is 90 degrees, and then the angle at the bottom would be 90 minus 63, which is 27. So this portion is 27 degrees and the upper portion is 63 degrees. So we need to do it into two parts, area 1 and area 2. So area 1 will be equal to half times 0.8 times 1.1 times sine of 63, and area 2 will be equal to half times 1.1 times 1.2 times sine of 27 degrees. So 0.5 times 0.8 times 1.1 times sine 63, which is 0.39. And for the other one, 0.5 times 1.1 times 1.2 times sine of 27 degrees. This is 0.299. So we can consider it to be 0.3. So the final area is going to be the sum of these two. So area is 0.39 plus 0.3, that is 0.69 meter squares. Okay. With this now, I proceed to question number 4. Which is find the area of PQRS. PQRS. The method could be We can bisect these two angles so that the angle, this one, 108, this is 54, this is also 54 degrees. So this is 83 divided by 2, that is 41.5, and this one is also 41.5 degrees. Now we need to observe that we are given with this pair of the side. So the included angle is this one. So we need to have this angle as well as we need to have this angle. So we can calculate the angle by 180 minus 54 minus 41.5, that is 84.5. This angle is 84.5. So this angle is also 84.5. So now we can calculate the two areas of the two triangles separately, and then we can add them to get the final answer for the area of the PQRS. Okay, let me do it. Area A1, if I call this as A1 and this as A2, A1 will be half times 6.0 times 6.4 times sine of 84.5, and area A2 will be equal to half times 5.6 times 8.4 times sine of 84.5. So let me calculate it. 0.5 times 6 times 6.4 times sine 84.5 degrees, 19.11. And for the other triangle, it is going to be 0.5 times 5.6 times 8.4 times sine 84.5 degrees. This is 23.41. So when we add them, so the area becomes A1 plus A2, that is 42.5 centimeter squares. So this is how these questions are to be done.